Hey, Freethinkers, you know, 4 years ago, I felt that America lost its moral compass because the agenda that the previous administration was pushing, to me, wasn't in line with America's focus and what America really is. But they never asked us because that's not where they came in and the promise was, right? So they came in during COVID and locked everything down, even though some states didn't get locked down and they had minimal death or hospitalization. But the media, these media people, pushed a narrative um, that scared people. And I got it, I understand it. That's what they do. But during that time, they did the three-card Monte on us because while we were focused on the pandemic, we weren't focused on the policies that was being pushed through. And a lot of policies got pushed through while we were there, while people were scared and worrying about losing their jobs and their lifestyle. They pushed a lot of these policies through and did a lot and enact a lot of these things that we were not on board with. But when you're scared, when you're scared, you're scared. And I felt that our moral compass was really off, from the federal government to the state to the local municipality. I felt that our moral compass was off because some of the things that they were pushing was ridiculous. Okay, um, they basically told you who you had to interact with, um, why you had to interact with people, and if you interact with them, um, how you have to speak to them, how you have to accept them, and what you have to say to them, and how you have to coexist with them, and you're sitting there just trying to figure out, how do I keep my job, how do I keep my family safe, and how do I just live? But during this time, they did a lot of damage to the American people because we came out of the pandemic and we started going to classes. You said classes? Yes, we started going to classes because now they're teaching us how to interact with this new public. They're not new. We just mind our business back then. You do you, I do me. We go home at the end of the day. Like in the military, I don't ask you who your partner is. You don't ask me who my partner is. If you want to divulge that, that's on you. That's why the don't ask, don't tell came in, right? But the idea that we had to now focus on other things while we were being while this gender was being pushed, and it was pushed to the limit to where the the diversity and inclusion policies got pushed through, and you're trying to figure out, who is this person, why is this person here. I've watched people come up through the ranks and got passed over because this person is who they put in place, right? And once they put this person in place, they're not giving you these videos you have to watch because you have to now know how to speak to these people. And when I say these people, I'm not talking about anything derogatory, but it's just that the way how they made it seem as if it was us against them instead of all of us. They separated us, right? So you're going to classes, that you're looking at the TV and you're watching um, male in women's space, boxing, track, soccer, cycling, swimming. You see men in women's space, and you have no right to question them or challenge them why they're in that space. And then vice versa, you have women who now showed up in men's space, and you shouldn't challenge them nor question it. Because if you question it or challenge it, you may lose your job. So people sat in silence because the fear of, if you say something or you see something, you may lose whatever you have. But to see America get back its moral compass back on track, where documents have to say male and female, right? I see the young people, I hear them talk sometime, and they're telling you how many different species there are, and you're sitting there going, species? Or how many different sex they are, and you're like, only two sex, male, female. No, what you have to understand is, and you're sitting there going, no, 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 it's male, female. But that's the agenda they pushed for 4 years. And if you weren't on board with it, you are at a loss because they're going to come after you behind that. They do this because they understand that people, what people fear most, they don't want to lose. So they just basically went along with it. You have women telling men that they need to be more emotional. I'm sorry. Men are not supposed to be emotional. Because when time of war, you can't sit there and cry and say, "We're going to war." We're going to war, baby. Women are allowed to be emotional. That's why you see in the Ukraine war, the amount of men that didn't sign up but had to go fight. Women were optional. Anytime there's war, for men, it's not optional. You're going to go fight. So when I hear women say they need men to be more emotional and more talking about their feelings, don't tell a woman about your feelings, and don't tell a woman about no freaking emotions. Okay, the first time you have a disagreement with them, that's what they're going to bring up. Straight up, they're going to bring that up. Exactly what you told them. In the most vulnerable state, you're going to tell them something private about you, and they're going to use it against you. That's how Samson lost his strength with Delilah. I have a video couple about I think one of my first video that I addressed that, Samson and Delilah. Okay, but it's good to not to get off track, but it's good to see America back on its moral compass, because we now have to accept exactly what's being put before us, which is male and female. We're not going with that trait that everybody's been pushing forward and that we have to accept. We're just not doing that anymore. And I'm glad that this president put that in one of the executive order. Your passport have to say male or female. There is no other sex in America anymore. So we're back with a moral compass, and the world needs to see that we're back on a moral compass, because a lot of stuff that America do, a lot of other countries follow suit and replicate what America does. So we have to get back to that. There's countries that don't allow certain things that America allowed past 4 years, that now, since President Trump has signed executive order, is now tightening up theirs, because everybody wants to be like great America. So I'm glad President Trump is here and he's doing what he's supposed to do, but I'm glad that America has back on its moral compass, that we understand there's only two sex, male and female. Let me know your comments down below, free thinkers.